Here's some imminent warning signs that something apocalyptic, real-world, and disastrous is about to unravel. The first and obvious sign is if something to do with the media, social media, or the internet becomes unstable. For example, apps become unstable or stop working. Sudden communication failure across all systems. Cell service, internet, banking, transport updates, etc. These are usually the first to go because these are the most fragile structures in current civilization. The second one is mass changes in human behavior. People stop commuting, schools shut abruptly. There's usually panic in areas like pharmacies, fuel, and supermarkets with basic needs such as food, water, and shelter. Panic itself spreads faster than the facts. This will also lead me to my next point, and it's that supply chains will stall immediately. Fuel especially will either become too expensive to buy or too scarce to even find. And this is where the vast majority of crowds will gather. And it's not just fuel as well. Things like toilet paper, food, and non-perishable goods like rice, canned food, they all disappear within hours. These don't happen in days. These happen in hours. Temporary delays, all at once. The next one is that government messaging will shift its tone extremely fast. It's called ruthless and immediately distinctive. This is when factions will usually form. Debates or anything to do with constitution such as equality, those things will collapse. Debates will no longer matter. People will become more violent and much more polarized. Human instincts will now override logic. This paired with repetitions. No causes for alarm paired with either spontaneous or unexplained restrictions. Curfews, travel pauses, and emergency powers all provoked quickly. The next one is so subtle yet so absolute. Things such as basic human rights for people that were previously marginalized, those things will reverse back. People with disabilities, people who are marginalized will lose their rights and lose their privileges, becoming immediately more vulnerable because this is a sign that humanity is going back to survival mode. These things were usually put in place where there was a luxury of consideration. When basic stability of civilization goes away, those things are the first to go. It's cold but true. Which leads me to my next point. People will become so violent, you will see it in the streets. At night, you will hear screams or gang violence. If you live somewhere where guns were legal or were previously used and now illegal, you'll hear them across the street. This is not dramatization. And the news outlets will become so bombarded with recurring circumstances that they're forced to either censor it or let that become the only thing that's in the news. That's if the news is even working in the first place. The next one is unusual military or emergency movement. Convoys, aircrafts, sirens without explanation. When authorities move without explanation, they know more than what they're saying. The next one is a financial system such as banks, ATMs, or online banking will freeze, stall, or stop working altogether. ATMs offline and cards failing are one of the hidden dangers, and these are often one of the clearest signals. All these things can happen all together within the span of 1 week to several months, but they are sure and absolute signs that something apocalyptic is unraveling. This is what you must do. The second that you spot any of these signs, you must do these within 24 hours. Do not seek information or confirmation. This is because by the time you actually get the sufficient information or the confirmation, the options are gone and too late to get. In such situations, always act on probability, not certainty. Secure water first, always. Water beats food. If you can sense that it's still the early stages, buy and stock up water. If it's becoming too urgent to stay calm, fill the bathtub up with water. Fill every single receptacle you can find, such as a sink, containers, glasses, bathtubs, etc. Fill them up with water, and fill them up fast. During apocalyptic events, water sources are the first to go. They either go bad or they become scarce. If the taps stop working or are dispensing dirty water, assume that they'll keep doing that for a very long time, and always assume that's when it's too late to get water. The next one is withdraw cash immediately if possible. This is for short-term things like buying food or stocking up on resources. Even just the tiniest amounts matter. Online banking is useless without infrastructure, and fuel is your biggest obstacle. If you have a vehicle, fill it up early and fast. With the current gas prices as high as they are, you don't stand a chance when they're scarce or too expensive to buy. If the stakes are too high, just fill it up and go without paying. Do not wait for one more update. When you stock up on food, because you will have to, buy the boring food, but the non-perishable goods. Shelf-stable, high-calorie foods such as rice, oats, beans, canned protein, oil, and salt. Ignore variety, ignore richness. Calorie and durability wins all the time in such stakes. The next one is charge everything. Charge your power banks, charge your phones, charge your laptops, everything. If you can, buy solar panels. During high stakes like these, electricity is one of the first to go along with water and fuel. Reduce visibility. Don't post online, don't broadcast plans, don't argue, do not waste your time. Information becomes a liability very fast. If you do this during that time, it's already too late to take it back. Stay away from crowds. Do not go in groups. Crowds feel safe until they aren't. They feel safe until there's a whole stampede of people running to get canned food or fuel. Crowds feel safe until there's violence in the streets because of basic needs such as food and shelter. The number one rule is people become violent under scarcity. Your distance from them keeps your options open. Ensure that you preserve your body. Make sure you hydrate, sleep, and eat well. Always sleep when possible. Exhaustion causes fatal misjudgment. And finally, choose whether you're staying or moving. Do it fast. Indecision is lethal and will leave you exposed and underprepared. If you are moving, do the following. Stocking up on fuel is non-negotiable. Public transport will fail. Trains, etc., they will stop moving. Countries will close their borders. You will not be able to move countries in time. If you even stand a chance, most of the emergency planes will be filled with refugees or asylum seekers seeking to leave the country fast. Stock up on fuel now and use it wisely and move early, always, before congestion, traffic, or checkpoints appear. The last thing you want is to be stuck in the road full of hundreds of cars while whatever is causing the apocalyptic event is right up your back. If you are staying, do this and do it fast. Lock all doors, secure your surroundings immediately. Board up windows. Board up your doors. Barricade your house so that it becomes a fortress in some way, shape, or form. Harden your position very well, but also very quietly and very discreetly. You do not want to do the following. You do not want to be seen leaving the house in a routine or being seen leaving your house. Those are extremely vulnerable moments of which someone can learn your routines and take advantage. Make sure you do it quick, fast, but very discreetly. The vast majority of apocalyptic events don't kill people directly. They kill people through panic, delay, denial, dependence, poor planning and poor execution, and incompetence to survival. I'm telling you right now, the people who survive are not the strongest or the most intelligent ones. They're the ones who act early, quietly, conserve resources and avoid danger, avoid chaos, and avoid lethal decisions. In a nutshell, your only main objective from the start is very simple. Maintain a mobility, awareness, and independence where others are waiting for reassurance that will never come. God bless you all and stay safe out there.